Welcome back. Last time we, picked up pieces after it turns out we did not, end the previous run. We did actually die, technically speaking. But it turns out sometimes life goes on, even for the people that are already dead in this universe. Anyways, welcome back. We have a bunch of things to do, but before that I would like to do a bunch of preparations, because I actually figured out something by accident to the extent. Let me explain real quick. So in this box we have two interesting items. One is the geomagnetic disc. Oh, actually three interesting things. I actually don't know about the third one. Anyways, this geomagnetic disc here, I do not... Well, I've tried it in my previous run before. It was a pretty dang accurate ranged weapon, although, well, with my low agility it didn't feel like it was doing a whole lot. So I was kind of curious in how it worked because, well, I've already engaged with this thing. I would like to know more about it. And I might have read a little bit too much on the wiki. Let me explain real quick. This geomagnetic disc here, basically, it ignores accuracy, and as long as, well, that might be the wrong way to put it. Basically, as long as you can see the target, the flight path of the geomagnetic disc, like a chakram, you throw it at without any variance. So as long as you can see the target, even through walls, this thing will reach the target. And if it is powered, it will actually bounce multiple times on various enemy targets, specifically enemies, not actually allies, which is kind of the important part, which does mean this actually does have some practical use. On top of that, what I kind of realized is that we have a morphogenetic mod. And again, this is why, well, I read a bit too much on the wiki. At the bottom, there was a little bit of trivia. If you have a morphogenetic mod that you can put on the geomagnetic disc, it can basically stun lock entire groups of enemies. I'll get to what that means in just a moment. Anyways, I'm going to be trying that out today. Or at least that's going to be the plan, and I will be using it. So, the other part, that is actually something I literally just realized that I wanted to do and then kind of forgot about it. Where is it? Here, the spiral borer. It is on the tools. I didn't figure out how to use that last time. I wonder whether I have to drop it on the ground. Maybe then I can use it? Activate. Oh shoot, that's how it works. The metal satchel opens, folds itself inside out, and transforms into a contraption started with pinions and drills. It starts to burrow into the ground. Ah. Oh, wait. Oh, it made a hole right below me. So did it get consumed, or is it still here? I think it got consumed. Okay. So it actually does end up working. That is kind of fascinating. Alrighty, now a few other things to note. I kind of missed that last time, but Chewie and Bardo both lost a bunch of weapons along the way. Chewie lost her two-handed crystal warhammer, and Bardo lost his, well, one of his two-handed crystal halberds. So we're just gonna give them other weapons. But before that, I wanted to try and mod them. But also before that, let me actually just real quick control Bardo, because he has 1 mutation point. So we invest that into multiple legs, so he has plus 100% move speed. That's gonna go up to 300% at the end. Then he also finally has enough strength to be able to get multi-weapon fighting mastery. So up until now, he was running around with like a 50% chance to offhand attack. Now this increases to 65%, so it is dramatically better. He just didn't have the strength to use that before. Ubu had the really high agility stats, so she was able to get that much earlier. Besides that, I also decided to give him Duke. I'm kind of curious whether he's going to use it efficiently. If not, I'm just gonna disallow it again for him to use that. But the reason why I want to do this is because here, with the tumble ability, you get +1 extra to your dodge value. So if it turns out that Bardo is gonna use the Duke for no particularly good reason, which I kind of expect him to, we'll see. I'm just gonna disable that again, but he has just 1 extra dodge now, so that's nice. Anyways, we need to give him a second weapon, but before that, let's go ahead and dominate Ubu. We don't need to dominate Jury because she is currently fine with the current status. Ubu gets 1 additional multiple legs, so a bit more movement speed, and I've also written it down, she gets now in the long blades category, she can have improved dueling stance for a +3 to hit instead of a +2 to hit. If you remember, I disallowed her from using her aggressive and defensive stance because I want her to effectively disarm enemies as a priority. Because otherwise she would just swipe at all enemies around, which, you know, is not bad, but it's also not that great. She needs 1 more strength in order to be able to get on guard. So that's the one part. What we could do is we could actually unlock... Where is it? Acrobatics for her as well, which I actually kind of missed that part. We never even unlocked acrobatics for Ubu. Why am I blind? There it is. So we're gonna do that. We unlock acrobatics, so she gets an additional 5 dodge chance against enemies that are shooting at her, and +2 flat chance to dodge. So she now has 15 or 20 against long range attack, which I think that is a pretty substantial defense value, or well, dodge value for that. And aside from that, since she's using the dodge value, maybe, well, I guess it's only -1 dodge value, so this is probably okay. Keep the refractive steel buckler. Anyways, we need something for the arms at some point, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna give them, but I was kind of looking into maybe getting them these armbands that have a little bit of cold resistance. There's probably better items for the arm slots, but that's kind of the most thing I can think of right now. So, and domination. Then let us go ahead and ask U to give us a little bit of a tinkering boost. So, controlling U, who is going to head over here. Let's see, he's gonna grab all of the missiles, as well as... Well, how many of these items am I gonna use? Why is this thing so expensive? Oh, because U has probably pretty low... Oh, okay. U has a really low comparatively ego compared to what I have. So all of these items have, well, seemingly significantly higher value than it initially appears. But not really, I guess. So, let me actually grab the 2 Flawless Crystal Maces and the Flawless Crystal Battle Axe, because maybe we can mod them to be a bit better. We're going to grab the disc for Morphogenetic, see if we can apply that to things. I'm going to also go ahead and grab Geomagnetic Disc, the metal folding chairs for extra tinkering bits and pieces. I will probably just disassemble the portable wall, and I'm not going to use the rainbow wood recoiler anymore, so I'm just going to disassemble that as well as all the solar cells in here. Am I ever going to use the gas tumbler, I wonder? No, I'm gonna disassemble that one as well. Then, am I ever gonna use chiral rings? I did not look into how these actually work, because they do require 2 flying slots. I could theoretically see whether they do anything, but they seem strictly worse than using 2 of the things I cloned. I'm probably not going to use a powered exoskeleton, so we're going to disassemble that too, as well as the spectacles. There's probably a bunch of things I missed, but that's okay for now. Let us learn how to make morphogenetic. There we go. Then, Disassemble the powered exoskeleton. Disassemble the gas tumbler. I'm probably just gonna keep the thermoelectric cell because there's lava thing in it. Actually, you know what? Let's actually replace the cell, put this thing in here. Disassemble this. And this is going to last for a long time to... well, have power up the advanced toolkit, disassemble the portable wall, disassemble the recoiler, disassemble the solar cells. Oh, just accidentally equipped that. Not what I meant to do. Disassemble and disassemble. Disassemble these, treat as scrap, disassemble. Alrighty, now let us see if we can actually mod these things. Let's see, mod with tinkering, geomagnetic disk, morphogenetic, what do we need, a 6 and a 7-bit? Let's do it. Apparently this is really strong, at least it seems like it would be really strong. Maybe what I would want to have is something that allows it to be more accurate. Nulling could also be really interesting. It astrally burdens the target. I guess this would be amazing against Shining Lampreys, so maybe I could do this. Let's get morphogenetic, because this has basically, because the disc bounces between up to 5 targets, or the same target multiple times. Morphogenetic, basically what it does is, when powered, used to perform a successful damaging hit, this weapon attempts to daze all other creatures of the same species as you target on the local map. And effectively, you just attempt to daze enemies 5 times in a row. And if you remember, a dazed enemy that gets dazed again gets stunned, which seems crazy powerful to me. How heavy is this thing? This is, well, it's 1 pound, so willowy is not really a concern to inflict it with. Could theoretically go sturdy. I wish I had the mod that allowed me to make it immune against magnetic attraction, because we probably lost our axes and our hammers that way somewhere and I just did not notice. That is very likely. And I mean, why not just put nulling on it as well? Like, is there any downside? There's probably only a limited amount of mods you can have on any item. Plus, previously, nulling costed 2 6-bits, now it's a 6 and a 7-bit. So presumably, it increases in price. But I'm just gonna do it. So let's see how well that's gonna work. Then we also check. Let's see, can we mod this with tinkering? We have a crystal mace. We can make a sturdy, nulling, morphogenetic, masterwork, electrified, and counterweighted. Counterweighted is a +3 to hit. And costs a 7-bit. Morphogenetic costs 2 7-bits. I was thinking maybe I could give... maybe this is still the correct move. I was thinking maybe I could give 2 morphogenetic stunning maces over to... Okay, all of these cost 7 bits. Wow. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make 2 morphogenetic maces. And this now costs 8 bits. I don't have any 8 bits, so that's as far as we can go. I guess it's mostly balanced by just being more and more expensive to do the tinkering. So, mod with tinkering, morphogenetic. So, now Dewey will just stun not just the enemy, but daze enemies on top of dazing them. Oh, it requires cells? Oh, right, that I suppose makes sense. I didn't think about it though. Mod with tinkering. So we could add sharp to the axe, which also once again costs 7 bits. Everything costs 7 bits. I have 1 remaining. I'm a bit hesitant to do that right now. So I'm gonna put these back in the chest for now. And that's also a kind of a nice note to myself. I'm just gonna leave ooh over there, that's okay. That's kind of a nice note to myself where I will probably want to look for 7 bits more accurately. Like if anything has the potential to be decomposed, disassembled into 7 bits, I will want to do this. Also, I just remembered I want to equip the Cycle Meridian instead. And then I'll also have the Gaseous Spur. Actually, this one gives teleportation to companions. I actually like that one. Let's equip this one. This one has... Oh, this one weighs 30 pounds. Okay, I'm actually curious if we can maybe make this willowy. Here, grab this real quick, my friend. Wait, I gave you the wrong thing. The Gaseous Spur is what I meant to give you. Kind of curious, it doesn't equip the Meridian, but it equipped the Gaseous Spur. Okay, get the Snell helmet back. Let's see. Mod with tinkering. You cannot mod this with tinkering. Oh, can you mod this with tinkering? You can. Also costs 7 bits. For nulling, sturdy, willowy. It's only 3 pounds to begin with, so... When powered on a weapon, does it say anything on armor? No. Sturdy. Okay. No, never mind then. Put these away again. That's just as heavy as it is, I suppose. It is indeed pretty dang heavy. Do I need the Mercurial Cloak? I don't know. I don't know what it does. I didn't look this one up. Anyways, let us grab the maces. Let us grab the crystal battle axes. And... Oh yeah, wasn't it that these credit card wedges actually weigh nothing? There's no reason for me to put them away. Aside from inventory overflow, I suppose. There is no inventory overflow, it's just a lot of stuff to scroll through at this point in the game. Well, actually, there might be inventory overflow, I just don't know about any. Okay, anything else? Cycle Meridian... Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Gaseous Spur for now. Maybe I'll change my mind because my allies might just teleport all over the place for no reason, which, to be fair, they always do anyways. But I kind of like the idea of this being just an item that enables my companions to do things they couldn't otherwise do. Like, it's just a fascinating concept. Also, I forgot about the part where I wanted to grab my morphogenetic rings. And I need batteries. I need batteries that refill themselves in some meaningful way. Install cell. Like, solar cell is fine. But it would be better if we had radio-powered cells. Like, radio-powered cells that have high capacity on top of it would be great. Also, the Slender Tri-Bracelet. Actually, I think this is much more powerful than I initially gave it credit for after trying it once. So this might have use in the future to just make duplicates of myself that enemies hopefully just try to attack and fail. Then... Chewie, you get the morphogenetic maces. Enjoy. Bardo, you get the crystal battle axes. We'll see whether we can find you a second flawless one. And anything else? How heavy is this thing? I think it's reasonably heavy because of the cell. It's a phase harmonic spacer pistol. You know, phase harmonic nulling would be interesting, because then I could target something that is phased with this thing and make it no longer be phased, because I would be astrally burdening it. It would be an idea, maybe something to think about in the future. Alright, this ontological anchor has its cell drained. Let's give it a solar cell. Let me leave the metamorphic gel here. And that's mostly all of the things and stuff done. Oh, the jewelry. Right. I forgot about this. Parafusile, my friend. Please repair this. Yes. And can you identify it? 66 grams. I'm just gonna try identify it myself, because I don't have that much money on me right now. You're puzzled by the jewelry. You're puzzled. It's an ontological anchor with electromagnetic shielding. Oh. That's pretty nice. Replace cell. Let's put a solar cell in there. So we have... Okay. Let me activate this thing and activate this thing. So I have 4 ontological anchors that I can just drop anywhere I want in order to destroy force walls. And the force bracelet for force walls myself, I guess. I think I'm pretty good on that side then. Would you like to have some chem cells that are used and drained? He has nothing of interest that I would like to have for now. So, sure. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry too much about the details. I also just noticed I do have another Lover's Blossom, as well as a bunch of Upenostrum injectors. Give you the fresh water to hold, and we're good. Okay, so if you remember, our current quest is to find all sorts of things in order to be able to satisfy the requests for making a golem. We need a sanguine fluid, that is 20 grams of primordial soup, which... Is that in my chest yet? There, yeah. It's right here. 20 grams of primordial soup. Then we need a level 30 follower or higher. The follower is not consumed, basically. So we can just offer any of our companions. They should be level 30 or higher by now. At least I think they are. What level are you? You're 27, Chewy. What level are you, Ubu? Ubu is 30, just about good enough. Actually, it's kind of fascinating. We have just about good enough levels for our bodies. Then... choose a catalyst, 3 grams of a pure liquid. Well, depending on which liquid we choose, it could have different effects. Choose an Atmos, provide a limbo of a creature. Okay, here's what I say. The next time Bardo dismembers anything, that's the limb we're gonna use. As long as I remember to pick it up and use it. Provide 1 Zetachrome weapon. We actually need to get such Zetachrome weapons first. Choose an incantation. That is going to be, well, whatever we're choosing at the point. Choose a Hamza, an item of 5 pounds or less. I'm actually probably just gonna use the high-powered magnet because it's 5 pounds, and I think it's kind of fun to try and maybe use that. I don't know what any of the items do, but it seems like that could be an interesting way to do things. And acquire an Ascension power source. This is our current objective. Let me actually teleport over to Stilt Grunts real quick. Oh, also I have a bunch of the Tomb of the Eaters recoilless. I'm not going to use those anytime soon. Same with this. And... we could randomly animate some random things if we wanted to. I don't see when that has any use. Oh, it's 13 pounds actually. You know what? I'm gonna give this to Chewy to hold. Maybe we have an idea to use this sometime. And apparently I have a bunch of grave goods. Just drop them on the ground. Okay. Welcome back to the Still Grounds. Why is there stuff on the ground here? Where did my chest go? Oh no, I dropped that. I think that was something I did in fact do. I think. Anyways, let's grab the books. Data discs. And the other weapons on the left are psionic, which means they use my mental attack power, if you will. Okay, so, Sadochrome weapons. To my knowledge, the most reliable way to find some are over here. And this is kind of reasonably dangerous to go over there, let's put it this way. So I would like to go ahead and visit some historic sites, just kind of to see whether we can get some useful legendary artifacts along the way. Another thing to note is... No, this is not it. Where is it? There, the recoming nook is over here in this location. Apparently that's random. I thought it was always gonna be here, but that was probably just coincidence. It was the middle of the lake. Anyways, I don't know why all of these green locations are blinking. I don't remember setting them. The sated beetle. I don't think we need that linked anymore. Historic sites. Yeah, there's a bunch of historic sites. We have visited this one, the Cabal, so I can unmark this. There's a new one here and here. We have visited. The ones I visited, I'm going to just take away. I don't feel like I need to notate the lair locations anymore. Probably. Then merchants, legendary shoemaker, gem cutter, and gunsmith. A bunch of weeps that I'm not too worried about. Oddities, a recoming nook. That's kind of curious that it's called an oddity. Then a bunch of ruins, more ruins with becoming nooks. Settlements that we have learned about and basically entangled text from, but never visited. So let's actually visit the ones that we can maybe just find some interesting things in. Umish apparently is a place. Actually, I'm gonna worry about settlements later. Let's just look at the ruins, shall we? So I'm gonna unmark the other ones. And now these are all the settlements, or well, the ruins. The Marapir Inkwell Square. Well, this is very close to Joppa, which means it likely has a relatively low-level legendary artifact. But I don't know whether that's exactly how it works, plus it might be unique and special anyway, so who knows, it could be great. At least it shouldn't be too dangerous. So, before I do anything, let me just really quick take a moment and check out the still crowns after I finally deliver the books. There's nothing in here, yes. Alright, Shiva Hagadias. You get all the books. Oh, I actually leveled up. My genome enters an excited state. I can rapidly advance a mutation. Pure Heart will give me extra toughness for maximum HP. Regeneration is regeneration. I'm not too worried about that part. Burrowing Claws for easier digging through walls, or phasing for reduced cooldown as well as an increased duration of phasing. I'm gonna choose phasing. Inspiration to swell. To name my ceremonial vibro equipage. No, sorry. And that's everything here. I also gained the mutation point and the skill point. I think I'm still waiting on the next mutation I want to buy. But attribute points. It could still be important for me to put it into intelligence so I can amputate limbs if necessary in the future. And maybe even apothecary later on, so... Could be an option, also ego could be an option. I'm just gonna leave it for when I decide which one I want. Okay, let me check out the still crunch real quick. I'll be right back. Quick cut. Alrighty, well, I stepped outside one square of the still crowns. The still crowns are exactly north, and I got attacked by a vast animus. There's a vigor sap and psychic thrall. I'm gonna tell Chewie to attack that one. And we of course have one more of these guys. Now I'm curious, I didn't put a battery in this. No, I did. Let me actually try to throw. A loud buzzing is emitted. The failure glyph flashes on the side of your morphogenetic geomagnetic disk. Why? Is it only for Trucans? Hello? Is it too far out of... I think it might be too far out of range. According to the wiki, you could throw this as far as you could possibly see, so maybe that's not quite true. Okay. Okay, there we go. So, also according to the wiki, worth noting, it could hit through these walls, but maybe that is no longer true. This could be outdated information. Alright, you guys go and attack it. I'm going to attack this wall. Your knowledge about it emits a shower of sparks. You take 1 damage from the discharge. Okay. I don't have the anchor equipped, so I wonder why that is. Maybe that's just a potential malfunction it can have. Anyways, this is an easy way for me to destroy these force walls, which I'm absolutely taking. That is fantastic. Also, did I by chance daze you? You're paralyzed. No. You're paralyzed and paralyzed, astrally burdened and wounded. Goodbye. Anyways. There's also these guys here. Siragar, Worm of the Earth and Pariah. It's a earthworm, but it's a pariah. All of these actually here are pariahs, which is kind of fascinating. Including the sewage eel. Let me just check whether there is another root guy over here. This is glowfish. Okay. We could do the water ritual with this one, but I don't really feel the need to. If anything, it would be tempting to kill them just because they are hated by flowers to get flower reputation, but I'm not gonna do that. As I have stated before, if given the opportunity, if enemies attack me, I will defend myself, but I prefer to not engage into combat, just kind of as a character trait. Hey, there's more brain brine. That reminds me, I have a lot of brain brine I could use. I could use a lot of brain brine. Anyways, I'm gonna just check the rest of the stealth real quick. Alrighty, we didn't really find anything interesting. That's okay. So, let us head over to Joppa. Where is it? Oh, it's lacquered Joppa recoil. That gets me every time. It is a lacquered Joppa recoiler. Let's briefly check out whether Archive has any interesting item mods. I would love to have radio powered as an item mod, so we can have stuff for that. No, 6-fingered is +1 agility, fitted with beam splitters. This weapon has a 3-way spread with each shot at a -1 penetration roll. Okay. I guess if you're good at hitting stuff. Hand-E nuke. Don't know what that does, but it must be pretty rare and strong. Because it uses an 8-bit, that seems pretty dang rare. Not gonna worry about it for now. Let us head over. You discover a layer you'd like to investigate, sure. Legendary Snapjaw Scavenger. Well, we could potentially get some extra Snapjaw reputation in here by doing the water ritual. We're getting attacked. Oh no, they're attacking the goldfish, or the glowfish, excuse me. They are just fighting their own battles. Oh, there's another Snapjaw legendary here. This is Loved by Snapjaw, disliked by Brathmite, disliked by Oozes. Well, I mean, I will guess there's not gonna be a whole lot of a reason for me to do the water ritual with any of them, because they just tend to be disliked by a lot of factions. You don't generally want to necessarily get too friendly with the Snapjaw, because, well, they are just strongly disliked by a lot of factions. Are you the legendary? I mean, you might be hated by mysterious strangers like mechanics. Yeah, basically, if you don't care about Snapchat reputation, you can just kill all of these guys and get good reputation with the other factions. But I'm already friendly with them, so I'm just not gonna worry about it. Let's continue. Get to the historical site. Welcome to Inkwell Square. Mara Pier, Inkwell Square. Okay, wow, that's an entrance. Bunch of dogs fighting snapshots. I don't expect it to be anything particularly dangerous unless a psychic or extraterrestrial invader is coming over. Also, apparently dogs don't like me. That is fair. Let's just auto-explore. There's so many dogs around here. And lizards apparently too. Ooh, some books here too. That's nice. Some extra experience. Oh. Member of the cult of Surashir. Oh, right. The historical site is from Surashir, and presumably we don't have reputation with them. Surashir. Huh? Well, I guess I nothing. He tries to borrow my mind. I have bad news for you. I have mental mirror, and you are definitely too low level for this. Okay. So this is actually a bit of a concern right now. So generally speaking, it's probably fine to take our buddies with us. I don't expect them to be able to knock out somebody, but if let's say 2 or 3 of these cultists manage to get like onto one of my allies and I don't notice it, that feels like a big concern. There's another legendary snapshot over here. Feels like they're everywhere. Huh. Oh, for the fleet-footed. Disliked by dogs. Hated by the villagers of Ekkar. I'm going to go ahead and just take Chewie with me. Let Bardo and Ubu stay just kind of around. I just really don't want those those guys to knock out one of my snapshots. This is just entirely unnecessary to take any risks here. Bronze 2 on the sword with electromagnetic shielding. I wish you could disassemble this, because then we could have a chance to learn electromagnetic shielding, but, well, we can't disassemble it. There is a slight chance not just to find a legendary item at the bottom of one of these historic sites, but also on the surface. It is kind of rare, but there is value in exploring the full surface here too. And, well, on top of that we get a ton of books, so that's quite nice. Let me go ahead and make a camp. Oh, by the way, the reason why I'm taking Chewie with me while I'm worried about my snapshots. Chewie has much better mental armor. Oh, I was inspired. I keep doing that. Chewie has much better mental armor than the other two. Plus, it's easier to keep track of a single ally as opposed to, well, many. So these things can actually just mess up our... What the heck? Oh, wait, it died? It's a dog corpse. What? The sparking beetle. No, it's not. It's just some electric wires. Just knock out the wires, I guess. But yeah, Chewie has better mental armor, and it is more easier to A loud buzz is emitted. The low power glyph flashes on the side of your magnetic disc. Oh. You use a lot of the power, huh? I'm just using the throwing weapon because I'm trying to not get too close to the Katsu, because of course they can just rust everything. In fact, I might tell Chewie to stay as well. Let's actually get back to the staircase real quick. I'm gonna tell Chewie to stay here, because I don't want her to accidentally get her stuff rusted, because the Katsu doesn't seem to care about your dodge value or armor value, from what I can tell. If it hits you, it can't just rust you things. Oh, wait, when did you level up? You have 4 mutation points. Let's give you a new mutation. Let's see. Sting with paralyzing venom. That would be really strong. We could also have domination on Chewie or disintegration. Well, I mean, the option to me is clear. The paralyzing venom on the Stinger is really, really good. So she will be able to paralyze enemies on top of already dazing and stunning them. The thing is, I might actually want to disallow Chewie from using the Sting ability and just have the offhand chance to attack with her Stinger now. It's a 20% chance to sting, which I believe if it does sting, it is paralyzing. But she also gets an active ability to sting. I would prefer if she were to just attack and stun enemies with her many maces instead. So effectively, this could retract her from using the, well, just attacking, which is much more powerful. So I'm going to no longer allow you to sting. So you just have the offhand chance of 20% to sting and paralyze opponents, which already is pretty good in my book. Alright, there's nothing in here that I'm concerned about. 100 books. Oh, there's a vent with clockwork beetles. Let me try to knock out the vent. Don't penetrate the ticking vent with my claw. Okay, we eventually did it. So these vents would keep getting... Desiccate, this is Surashir boon. It's a floating slot item. Willpower and quickness +1. 1 quickness, 1 willpower is just not that great, honestly. But, well, that was a quest complete, I guess. But there's more, because there was no credit card switch in that chest. Which does mean that there's more floors to this place. There's also a bizarre contraption. Marapir Fool Gate contains wiring enabling it to function. Okay, wait. If I power that, do we get to jump through a gate? I mean, probably. Okay, I just don't have enough charge. Can I pick up cables? No, I can only attack them. Is there a way to move these fusion powers? This is broken anyways. How can I power these? It's gonna freeze the thing, so I can't. Ah, more clockwork beetles. Can I not dig while clockwork beetles are around? Is that a possibility? You know what, I just realized I can disintegration. Boom. There we go. No more clockwork beetles. The vents just keep spawning more clockwork beetles and more of them. So even though this is a relatively early game area, it would have been kind of tricky to take out in the early stages, it feels like, with those clockwork beetles, unless you were somehow friendly with them. which is probably a robot reputation, which I don't think you intrinsically have. Could you not? Yes, that spider is very threatening over there. Please ignore it. I don't know how you activate these gates, where they possibly lead, whether it's random or whether predetermined. All of these things are possible, in my mind. There's the staircase down. More clockwork beetles. You know what? I don't need to Huh? Yes, that was weird. Since the vast universe of a mind, someone is near. That's very inconvenient. Because I don't have my other buddies with me. I'm probably gonna be fine, but you never know. Herding dog. More clockwork beetles. Putrid clockwork beetle. Why is it putrid? I'm frozen solid. Great. I would prefer if I wasn't, so we're gonna immediately apply a blaze injector. Took a bunch of damage from that too. Let's see if we can find the culprit. That is such a powerful cryokinesis there, you are... why are you like this, buddy? What did I ever do to you? Let's try to get to him. Oh, and you have a bat. This one is a strength sap. That would be horrendous if you sap my strength. Freeze. Turns out you can freeze, but you're not particularly resilient to getting frozen. Freeze. Okay. There might be another one. Let's start exploring. Ow. It's just random turrets down here. Wait, am I friendly with the Katsu? Or why is my old exploration actually just ignoring them? I'm not complaining. Oh, hi. And that's just a novice of the Sightless Way. 10 damage and he's down. One by one. Okay, maybe not. It's another novice. Yeah, you can try that. At this point I have so much mental armor that I don't think low-level enemies can punch through it anymore. There is a glow crow here. It decides to be hostile, and it is no longer hostile because it's dead. I'd like to get to this thing over there. Actually, I'm just gonna disintegrate this area. Pick up the books. You take 18 damage from the resonance mine. Mark 1 disintegration. Okay, the miner, of course, put down a bunch of traps while it was active. That I didn't see. I think the speed spitting mine just killed the turret and leveled up. It's kind of funny. Alrighty. So many seed-spitting vines. These seed-spitting vines are part of the cult of Surashir, which is kind of amusing as well, because they are just stationary plants. They just happen to be one of the creatures chosen to be part of this cult. We're almost done exploring. Nope, don't care. Let's go downstairs. Hope that we don't get vast animals again. We visited like 5 new screens and 2 of them had the vast animals of something mind. Not a big fan. It's way too frequent for my taste. Okay. You just hit yourself. And turns out my cooldown was already back. You know what I can do? I can sit over here and wait until the seed spitting vine knocks out the Katsuda on the southwest of me. Yeah. Can I hit this one too? It's gonna wait. Perfect. Thanks, buddy. I no longer need you, probably. That was very nice of you. We are currently at 249 or 255 weight, so I probably will want to briefly go up and give all the books over to Chewie. Okay, this is why auto exploration sometimes is terrible, because it of course goes as tight around the corners as possible, trying to take a reasonably efficient path, which consequently also means sometimes you just step right into an area where a Katsu can be. I'm carrying too much to move, because for some reason I'm collecting fresh water from this random location that happens to be fresh water. I would have never noticed that it is fresh water. Okay, I probably don't need these folding chairs. Just gonna drop all of them. Let me go back upstairs real quick. Where did you come from? The other exploration didn't mind earlier. Chewie should just be here. Hi friend, I have a bunch of things for you to hold. Follow the books. Excellent. Thank you. Until later. It would be one thing if the game informed me that equipment of my companions has rusted before it would destroy it. But I don't think it does. It's another novice. Stop hitting yourself. I'm just gonna disintegration here. I don't want to get anywhere near that Katsu. It actually didn't even knock out the walls. It's lightly damaged, huh? Okay, 3 more books. 1 less seed vine. There it is, and there's a shrewd bread of Marapir Inkwell Square. This is bread, an injection bread. You gain +2 permanent bonus to a random attribute or 2 mutation points. Wow. It's a tonic for permanent mutation points or random attribute. That's pretty decently strong. Okay. Please stop doing that. Alright, you guys done? That's... I'm just trying to process tonic that we just found. I think this would be a prime candidate for using our metamorphic polygel up onto in the future. Just keep adding more, I guess. So we didn't fully explore this floor. There's a bunch more books over here. Okay. Fascinating. Random clockwork beetle somehow showed up. But yeah, metamorphic polygel on this injector seems like the way to go, honestly. Alrighty. You can come with me again. Let's find... Oops. Current location. Let's find our snapshot buddies and get out of here. Alright. Come with me and come with me. 2 mutation points though would be amazing. I could so much more quickly try to get beneficial mutations. Or 2 random attributes could also be, I guess, useful. Suppose there's not really any throwaway stat either, so that could be great. Let's head over to the stealth grounds. And... deliver books. I think that is the current objective. Okay, Joey, give me the books, please. All of them. I wonder if there is a button that allows you to select, like, the entire category. There might be. I should check the keybanks at some point. Alright. I'm carrying too much to move. I'm just gonna spend a bunch of turns, wait until our buddy shows up, just in case it is relevant that they are in sight while I'm turning the book, so they get extra experience too. Actually, you know what? Chewie, move over here. And Ubu, move over here. Again, I'm not sure. It probably doesn't matter that they're right next to me when giving out the books, but it might. Alright, that is 21,901 experience from that trip alone. Ubu gains a level and Bardo gains a level. Sweet. So, let us dominate you real quick. Check your equipment. Looks overall quite fine. You didn't drop anything or silly things like that. And just more multiple legs. You're done with multiple legs now, which means we're going to get you a new mutation next time through. Or well, after 4 levels anyways. Sweet. Then for Bardo. Multiple legs still. Any skills I want to give you? I think I'm basically done with his skills. Just waiting until he gets enough attribute points to get the last axe perk at this point, as well as... well, actually, we did get the multi-weapon and endurance. Maybe if you could get... oh yeah, actually you can get this stuff now. We're gonna wait until we get Iron Mind and Lionheart for a chance to shake off being terrified and dazed, if I'm not mistaken. Less chance of getting stunned. Okay. That's everything here for now. Let's head over to... Gridgate is what I wanted to look for. In Gridgate, we're going to go ahead and grab the metamorphic polygel and apply this to the shrewd bread of the Marapiert Inkwell Square. I'm gonna do this 2 more times. And unlike liquids, of course, you can't just copy multiples at the same time. That's not how it works. Just one at a time. Then also, apparently I picked up a random seed splitter. We also put the legendary item here. But, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, over in the 6 days tilt I got a Schrödinger piece from a random chapter. We're gonna keep one of these, so I don't accidentally use them in this place here. And the other injectors I might just re-abuse, honestly. I don't really see much of a reason why not. Yeah, okay. Let's use that, and I think we're good for today. Then we're gonna probably do more historical sites afterwards. Apply! Yes, it will tell me that this is an important item because it's a legendary. I would still like to use it. 2 points of ego. Hooray. And this one, next one is 2 points of strength, more carrying capacity, not complaining, and more chances to hit with a weapon. Or at least penetrate armor. Actually not sure whether that's applying. And 2 mutation points. That's what I was hoping for. Let's get lucky. Maybe. We have Sunder Mind, Force Wall, and Confusion. Okay, Sunder Mind is the obvious choice here. Because this allows us to sunder opponents' minds. And this is, as you know, ridiculously powerful in the correct ways applied to enemies' foreheads. Chewie has been using this to great degrees of success, and she has actually less ego than me for offensive purposes. So this is going to be pretty dang strong. Force Wall could be nice, because it would give me a way to use Force Wall without having to equip a Force Bracelet, but then again I can in fact use a Force Bracelet. So Sunder Mind it is. We now have 72 Psychic Glimmer. Now we put the point into ego for even more Sunder Mind power, for what it's worth. 40 ego, which apparently is the soft cap for trading, well, stuff. But yeah, okay, I think I'm pretty happy with this outcome. Next time, we're going to go ahead and see which historical site we're gonna be visiting next. It's almost certainly not gonna be as easy as this one, but hopefully a much better legendary item. It appears that there would be one here that we could try to approach, or I think Hanetum here might be more approachable, because I think it is in the jungle, which is not quite as dangerous as the middle of the river. We actually have yet to properly try and engage with this area here, because the enemies there are scary. And I'm not entirely sure what the best way of handling is of, well, the flowers in there just dragging us over and trying to eat us whole. My companions are probably going to be fine to just nuke them if they get dragged, but I'm worried that they get dragged to a very unpleasant place in the middle of other enemies. Anyways, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for listening and for lurking. I hope you enjoyed this day, I hope you enjoyed being around, and well, hopefully until next time, take care and stay hydrated.